All right, so let's talk about The Batman. New trailer came out during DC Fandome. I was going to do a whole video telling y'all my thoughts on DC Fandome, and I will, Fandome, whatever. But what I'm going to do on this video is I'm going to go through the Batman trailer, and we are going to be talking about spoilers. Those of you who were here a couple days ago on the channel, I dropped some exclusive Batman spoilers that nobody else had from, let's just say, people who I have heard things from. Okay, we're going to be very vague here. This video, because we've seen a lot of speculation, right? I'm going to break down some key moments from The Batman told to me by these people who saw the movie, okay? And we're going to be going through. So this breakdown video is going to tell you explicit details on the film. If you do not want to be spoiled, this is not the video for you. We're going to go through, and I'm going to go through some of the things in this movie and this trailer. And when it comes out in March, you'll see that I'm not a bullshitter, okay? Y'all know, if you've been on this channel, I nailed The Matrix, I nailed G.I. Joe, I nailed Godzilla vs. Kong. I'm not a grifter, folks. This is real shit. So we're going to talk about The Batman. Very exciting. I'm very excited to see this movie. So let's check it out. All right, let me go through the trailer, okay? So this opening shot right here in the trailer, this happens about 2/3 of the way through the movie. This is when the cops go and arrest the Riddler. This is not at the beginning of the film. The Riddler gets arrested 2/3 of the way through the film. Here are the cops, and there is the Riddler. Whoa, hold on, I went to the wrong thing. I hit that button there. And there's the Riddler getting arrested. Like I said, that's 2/3 of the way through the film. This is early in the film. Now, I mentioned to you guys in the spoiler video that the bat signal is not on the roof of the police department. It's in a warehouse. Boom, evidence. It's in the warehouse. I remember I dropped that before the trailer even came out.
When that light hits the sky,
This is early in the movie. This is actually early in the film.
it's not just a call.
These are thugs. Okay, so what's going on here is there's an initiation. One of the kids here is being initiated into the gang. This is no relation to the Joker or any other villain. It's its own sort of street gang, criminals and whatnot. And Batman shows up, and, well, you know, Batman does what Batman does, right?
It's a warning.
So again, this is nothing to do with the Joker or the Riddler. It's just that their own gang. And, you know, Batman's not going to lose this fight. You know what I'm saying? Let's move forward here. Okay, this scene is near the end of the movie. This is after, not near the end, I'm sorry, near the end of the second act before the third act. This is after the Riddler is in prison, and he's in prison, or he's at Arkham. I believe this is Arkham, and Batman is there confronting him. That's the Riddler right there who he's talking to. The Riddler's plot in this film, like I discussed couple days ago, is that he wants to expose the hypocrisy and the underbelly of Gotham, about how its politicians and its people are corrupt. Very similar to what the Joker and Ra's al Ghul were doing in the Nolan trilogy. Very similar, except that Riddler at one point says screw it and wants to flood the entire city, which is later on in the film.
Trying to reach you. Find the God!
And this right here is actually the beginning of the flood. This is actually in the third act, the big sequence. This scene right here happens when the mayor, this is during the funeral for the mayor. You're hearing this, again, guys, you're not going to get this anywhere else. This is World of Geekdom. This shot right here of Batman and Catwoman is near the end of the movie. This is after their battle, because she has her own agenda. I'm not going to go into detailed spoilers on this because I had promised people that I wouldn't, and I want to keep my promises. But basically, Batman and Catwoman have a very similar, they have a similar goal, a very similar goal, trying to capture the same enemy. They have a mutual enemy, but they have their own goals, right? But the enemy that they have is a mutual enemy. You know what I mean? So they do team up in this film. I mean, you can tell right here.
If this continues, it won't be long.
That is the Penguin, played by Colin Farrell.
For you, nothing less.
And that's, you know, of course, Andy Serkis. Now, this right here is, again, near the end of the film. Not near the end. This is like in the middle, at the end of the second act, beginning of the third act. This is Batman trying to figure out the riddle. And these names you see, like Mitchell, Savage, Coulson, sins of the father. These are all riddles the Batman is solving. And those names, Savage, Mitchell, Coulson, those are people who the Riddler has killed, victims of the Riddler.
I don't care what happens to me.
It's only gonna get worse for you.
This is the stairwell fight that I mentioned the other day. Remember I said there's a fight between Batman and thugs in the stairwell? It's really good. This is that fight right there. This is the fight in the nightclub, which I didn't really talk too much about, but this is the club that Selena Kyle works at, the Penguin frequents. Okay, now I'm not gonna go too deep into this, okay? Because I promised I wouldn't. But there is this scene right here is Selena Kyle doing some espionage work with Batman. Now there is a very specific new kind of technology here that Batman utilizes in this film, involving Selena Kyle and let's just say her eyes. I'm not gonna go into detail on what it is. But there is technology here where surveillance technology with Bruce and Selena, and he needs her to sneak in, and he's monitoring everything.
Maybe we're not so different.
This is the last shot of the movie with Batman.
Who are you under there?
Earlier in the movie where there's that curiosity aspect. This is the Batmobile, and I mentioned y'all there was a chase remember I talked about how there was a chase the other day with Batman and Catwoman and Batman and Penguin. I said there was a big chase scene in the movie with Batman and Penguin, and I said that my source said that it was almost as good or equal to being as good as the one from The Dark Knight. That's this right here, yo. Now we see a little bit of it here. And like I said, it's apparently way more thrilling, but not as big in scope, is what I was told. I'm not too sure about these scenes. He just told me that this is he didn't tell me about this. Okay, let me go back. That is the Riddler right there. That's the Riddler. On the screen, this is on Gotham rooftop. Okay, that's a flare. That's a riddle right there. That's a flare being shot out. I don't want to go into detail because I promised I wouldn't. Here's more of that chase that I was telling y'all about. You know, and of course, he thinks he got Batman, but Batman's okay. The Batmobile in this movie is not like a stealth tech Batmobile like what it was in the Tim Burton movies, and it's not a tank like what it was in the Christopher Nolan movies. In this movie, the Batmobile is a regular like car that gets souped up. Now, because this is Batman Year 2, you have to understand that I believe, now I could be wrong about this, remember there's planned to be 3 movies of the Batman, the 3 of this universe, right? And I think what they're going to do is they're going to probably upgrade the Batmobile with every movie because this is still Batman Year 2. He's young. He doesn't really have everything yet. So this Batmobile is probably not going to be the one that we're going to see for the whole trilogy. It's a pretty simple Batmobile. No, I mean, look at it. It's a pretty simple vehicle. And that music sounds great, by the way. And then we have the logo. Yeah, that's at the end of the chase. The Batman coming in March, yo. I cannot wait for this movie, yo. It is a 3-hour film. If you missed the video I did the other day going into spoilers, I did not spoil the whole film. There is a major twist involving Batman's backstory later in the film. I can't go into that. I just can't. I'm not allowed to. I promised to do that I wouldn't, but if you click up there or maybe over there, you're going to see a link to go watch that video that we do go into some spoilers there about the film. So thanks again for watching. Have a great day, and I'll talk to y'all real soon.